Hello, welcome to this video. What I want to show you today is just a quick and easy way to make colloidal silver. Now there's a lot of methods out there to make colloidal silver. Some methods are better than others depending on what your purpose is. But for today we're going to be trying to make small particulate silver. This is still a fairly good parts per million, but we want small particulates so that they remain in colloidal suspension. When you try and drive too many amps through a process like we have set up here, you wind up with too big of particles, and a lot of them wind up settling out, and you actually wind up with a lot of waste. So what I'm going to show you is a good way to make it. It's a little bit slower than the normal way, but I think it's worth it. Okay, so to start off, there's a few things that you're going to need. We're going to be making a gallon of silver. So for starters, you are going to want a bowl. You're going to want a stainless steel bowl, like so. Obviously, it could be a silver bowl if you wanted it to be, but it doesn't need to be silver. It just needs to be something that you don't find objectionable. So yeah, we've got our bowl, and that's what we're going to be clipping the negative electrode to. So none of the particles from the bowl are going to be in the colloidal silver. We actually have a strip of silver for doing that. So the second thing you're going to need is a piece of cardboard. Now I've cut this out into a circle, but you really don't have to. I just wanted it to look nice for this presentation. So you see how it fits nicely over the top of that. And we're going to cut a strip in the center in order to suspend our silver. But the next thing that you're also going to need, let me just put this right here. You're going to need a gallon of distilled water. You have to make sure that this isn't purified. You have to make sure that it's actually distilled water, because you don't want spare particulates in your colloidal silver. Could cause contamination, or it could just make it not last as long. Anyway, so you want to make sure that it's distilled water, and obviously this stuff is really cheap. It's like I think I paid 88 cents for this gallon. And finally, you're going to need a colloidal silver generator, which I actually make these colloidal silver generators, but you could make one yourself. Let me just show you what I have here. It's actually just a pair of lead wires. So you see the clip leads, red to red, black to black, and then in line on the red terminal, which you actually don't need it on the red terminal, but I mean it could be on the black terminal, but you need a certain amount of resistance across the entire circuit. So we actually have a 10K resistor soldered on there, and it's shrink wrapped for your convenience so that it doesn't get in anything. Anyway, so you're going to need that colloidal silver generator with a strip of silver, which right now I'm actually selling the silver with the colloidal silver generator for a very reasonable rate, which you can check it out on the Zapperplans website. But moving on, the final ingredient that you're going to need is a power supply, which you can actually just use 3 9-volt batteries, just like so, and you connect them in series, just like so, one to the other. So you've got 3 batteries connected up, just like that. And that's all the ingredients that you're going to need. So let me just show you how this setup works. So I'll take that gallon off, and we'll take our bowl and place it over here. And a piece of cardboard. We're going to cut a small strip in the center of it. So I'm just going to poke a hole through that. It doesn't have to be a very large hole. It can literally just be a slit. So you can't even really see it just looking at it on the screen there, but I will show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to take this piece of silver, and I'm going to shove it through the slit. This doesn't want to... Oh, there we go. Okay. So we shove it through the slit, leaving just a little bit out the top so that we have something to connect to, but it's going to drop down into the colloidal silver. Now, my advised amount of going into the water, the distilled water that you're going to add next, is about, I don't know what, an inch or two, fully submerged. But you can do it with somewhat less. It's just a certain amount of silver will get dispersed in the water, and you just want to make sure that you have enough. And obviously, not very much is supposed to get used. If your silver generator is using a ton, probably a lot of that is going to waste, and it's not actually turning into colloidal silver. Mostly, it's probably making a certain amount, but then the rest of it's just turning into silver silver dust. Anyway, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to open your distilled water. So I'll just open that and pour it into the bowl. Just go nice and easy there. Okay, and now you can see the water swirling around a little bit in there, so the bowl is mostly full. And next we're going to take our piece of cardboard that has the silver through it, and we're just going to let the piece of silver sticking out there, we're just going to let it sit down in the water. And then we're going to take our colloidal silver generator that we have set up here, and we're going to connect one of the red leads. It doesn't matter which end because it's just power flow. The resistor is not one way. It's just a matter of the current. So you can connect whichever red one you want. I always like to connect the one with the resistor already in tow to the actual colloidal silver end. I don't know why, but it just makes more sense to me. Anyway, so we connect that. To the silver. Then we take our black lead and we're going to connect it to the bowl. Okay. Next, we're going to take our batteries, and you need to figure out which end is positive and which end is negative. Usually, on these 9 volts, usually the bigger one is the negative one. So we're going to connect that using our clip lead. We're going to connect straight to the negative on that one, and we're going to connect to the positive with the red one, and set it aside for 48 hours. And once it's cooked for 48 hours, you should have a full batch of colloidal silver. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Have a good day.